Hello everyone, my name is Isra and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. I'm gonna be playing with a mod you have maybe seen before, but maybe not. Instead of the more popular Darth mod, I'm going to be playing Untitled War using Imperial Splendour. So, what does this differ from the Darth mod version? Well, basically, where Darth mod is kind of an all-around upgrade for basically all the factions and the graphics and the AI. The Imperial Splendour also goes for AI improvements, but it focuses more on diversifying factions and kind of making them more historically accurate. For example, the Prussian units are the fastest reloading units in the game, but they are not as populous as, per se, Russia, so their units do not have as many men in them as the Russians do. And the Polish, they don't have that great infantry. In fact, I think they are among the worst infantry in the European theater. But to make up for that, they have the quite awesome Hussar units that are among the best cavalry in Europe at the time. So that's a small example right there. And I'm going to be playing this as... that was actually wrong, never mind. And it actually kicked me right back, so actually, that was really good. We're going to go into the Grand Campaign. And we are going to be playing this as the Swedish. Just let me find them. There we go. So, what is special with Swedes? Well, basically, they are kind of the jack of all trades. They have awesome line infantry. They have, well, pretty decent cavalry. Not the best, but very decent indeed. And their artillery are among the best. But they are... I think they might be the ones who have the least amount of men in a unit. I think they only have like 140, and compared to Russia, has like 240. So there's a definite difference between them. So what you want to do as Sweden is to basically use your melee capabilities against the other factions, because you have an edge. You actually have a knife edge, if you would, on your side against them. And also, the examples I used, there were just a few of them. We have, for example, France, who has very good cavalry. You have Britain, who has all-around strong units and a strong navy to match. And yeah, if you want to actually take a look at this and take a deeper look at this mod, there's a video on the Total War Network, which I made, which is a mod overview. And if you would like to take a deeper look into, yeah, basically this mod, you can take a look at it there. I'll probably give it a link in the description below, so you can go over and watch it. But anyway, we're going to start this with the campaign difficulty at normal, and the battle difficulty at hard. And the reason why I go for the normal difficulty on the campaign instead of like hard or very hard is for the simple reason that when you have, at least I've noticed that in like Untitled War, especially Untitled War, if you have the campaign difficulty on hard, the AI tends to be very much irrational and make some pretty silly choices, I would say. And by that I mean, let's take a look at, let's see, Great Britain. They are indifferent towards me, but they are Protestants, and they also have a constitutional monarchy, and they have a trade agreement with me at the start of the game. And yeah, let's use that as an example. That is actually a pretty good one. You're probably subscribed to Lionheart, right? You probably are, if you're watching this. And he started a Darth mod version of pretty much the same thing, using Sweden and all. And what happened pretty much immediately for him? Well, Great Britain, your trading partner, which should be quite satisfied with you, pretty much immediately declared war on him. So he I don't think he lost Obo, but it was damn near close to losing Obo. And that was after being at war with, I believe, Russia and Denmark, maybe Poland, but I don't know. Anyway, if we can take a look at our starting positions, which are squeezed in between, of course, Russia, Poland down here, and Denmark, Norway over here. That is kind of what matters right now, because we want to expand, of course. But the problem we have with that is, of course, that Denmark, which is our most likely target, is allied with both Poland, Lithuania, and Russia. But I believe we should be able to manage that. Also, the Prussians don't really like us that much. In fact, not at all. I'll just get a few trade agreements going right away. They want quite a lot, and I am not willing to pay that. And also, something that is different in this mod, in addition, is the research tree. So, usually, you pretty much have the same technologies, no matter what faction you're playing as, unless it's like a tribal faction. But if you're using a European power, you pretty much have the same technology tree. Here it's kind of different, because I have the new thing, which is standardization of calibers, the adjustment of elevation of mortars, horse artillery, and artillery reforms. They are all reforms / upgrades, which are unique to the Swedes. So, seeing that I am a strong, well, I should be a strong cavalry, not cavalry, but artillery faction, I get the standardization of cavalry, of calibers, which gives me quite a lot of artillery already. And by the way, that 6-pounder howitzer you see right there, the Haubitz battery, that is not on the same pound scale as you're used to. So in effect, that is, let's see, I have a little cheat screen over here to the left. That is the same as pretty much a 42-pounder. So the scale is a bit different there, and therefore you believe me when I say I get pretty awesome artillery right at the start. But something that is not awesome is the fact I mentioned, that our regiments are pretty small, only 140. And if I can take a look at this, no, I can't actually take a look at the size of it unless I do like this, probably, and infiltrate them. There you can see 260 for the standard line infantry, and I know some, well, that's not really the standard line infantry, that's kind of the subpar line infantry. Actually, they have longer range than, well, never mind, this might not be the subpar, but it's a different one. It suffers range for a number of men, I guess. But these guys should be the same size as those mentioned standard line infantry. And they have 240 men, so we are at a disadvantage when it comes to numbers, and that's definitely historically accurate. Just take a look at the battles between the Swedish and the Russians during the Great Northern War, for example, and you can see there how many men, well, how big the disadvantage usually were for the Swedes. Anyway, we want these guys over here, so we can protect Ingria in case the Russians wants to go on an offensive early on. Also, it should be mentioned that the recruitment price for all of this is pretty steep. So that's something we have to worry about, and that is to, I think the upkeep is actually, it should be a bit lower than usual. Well, it's slightly lower, I think. So you see the recruitment cost is actually massive, and the upkeep cost is a lot lower than that. So what the mod creators intends for you to do is to build your army and kind of have it and use it well, and don't spam out units left, right, and center. In fact, let's go ahead and use some of my money, which, as you might imagine there, is going to be spent pretty quickly. So, I am going to build, what should I build? Long range or more accuracy? This is a real short, oh, it's only a 4-pounder. Oh, well then. Let's see, how much artillery do I start with? 1. Well, let's change that. Let's see, it's between these two. And it's kind of obvious, we're going for this one. It's going to cost a bit, but I believe we can manage. Also, let's start research. We already have the square, which is super useful. We can go for fire by rank immediately, or we can go for plug bayonets. But I actually think I will go for fire by rank. Right out of the gate. And it shouldn't matter that much, because I'm not going to go to war immediately. I'm going to go to war pretty quickly, but not immediately. Anyway, I believe that is most of this done right here. For now, we can have this guy stay here and keep converting Finland into 100% Protestantism. So, end the turn and see what the other countries do. So, the Russians will not be friendly towards me. That is kind of given. Also, this is not going to happen. The Danes, the Danish, they really don't like me. So they might also be attacking me. But if they are not attacking, I am going to be attacking pretty soon. So not really. It's not really a matter of war. It's a matter of who will declare the war. Also, this army is going up there. I'll take my agent and actually have him go scout down here. And I should also point out that the Russians, they appear to be large and very powerful, but in fact they're not powerful. They are actually, well, I wouldn't say that they're a pushover, but if you know what you're doing, it's not that hard to go on and annihilate the Russians pretty much immediately. So that is of course what we will be trying to do. We don't have that much money because our upkeep is taking away a lot of it. And also I don't have that many trade agreements. That should be mentioned. But let's build the barracks right there. That's an important front. Also, we already had the barracks there, and we couldn't afford a drill school anyway. Cannons are one turn away. And after that we will probably go from some standard line infantry. And after that I'll probably attack Norway. That's usually what I do when I play as the Swedes. Oh yeah, and also we need a base for our navy, and that is that will be the trading port, because the moment you're at the war, the trading port is going down. Believe me, this is the bane of many Swedish players' existence in Empire. Anyway, are we done? Or should we try to get a few more trade routes? I think we'll try to get that. We'll see how successful we are. Well, we're at least a bit successful there. Also, where is this trade route going? Is it going like through Russia? Oh no, it's using this. Oh, it's using that trade post. Makes sense. I wondered if it was like going through Russia and through the Persian Empire, in through the Mughal Empire, and down to the Maratha Confederacy. But that would have been very, very weird. Anyway, we have more potential enemies, friends, actually. Let's see. Persia? No, that's not gonna happen. Maybe Portugal. I can pay that. But keep in mind, Portugal often get taken out by Spain pretty early on. But we'll try to squeeze out as much money we can while we have the chance. So we actually have quite a decent income right now. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with the situation. So they want Ingria. They sure do, because they want a port right there in the Baltic Sea. And for that they will give me Karelia. That is not going to happen. That province is way too wealthy compared to the Karelian province. Well, it might be more worth in like how many years? Let's see, we're at 1701, so in like 250 years, plus, this might be very, very useful for all the oil that will be found like outside here. But not today. We're not concerned with oil in these ages. And look at this, the great Russian capital. Very, very badly defended. So yeah, that kind of illustrates my point. Also, that took a lot of money. And we won't have that much money to actually build up an army. So that's what that points out, well, that underlines what I said about the money you have will go towards a small army which you have to move around. But let's try to get some more decent infantry. Yeah, and that is all I can actually afford for this turn. And let's go ahead to the point where we are able to go ahead and attack Norway. There we go, 1320 against, wow, it's actually that, well, I guess it was more worth then, but it's still not gonna happen. I rather want St. Petersburg than, I don't even know what that city is called, Murmansk? No, I don't think that is the region capital. It's actually that, Petrovskaya. Yeah, these guys are not gonna be too happy when I leave the city alone. Might have to build a conservatorium, never mind. That is only going to give them warm. That's the problem. Anyway, that was all of my money spent for this turn. And when these are done, we'll go ahead and attack Norway. just reminding you about that. And what do you know? They declared war. Oh, they actually declared war, and neither Denmark nor the Polish actually wanted to join that. Huh. Well then, I might want to just move my army over and completely knockout punch them. And yeah, I want to plug Bayonets, because as I said, the edge you have with your infantry is the fact that they are absolutely killers in melee. So I want any sort of bayonet. And that will take 4 turns. Okay then. Of course, a lot of quality numbers might also make up for that. So let's take our navy and have these guys go there. Make these guys join. And we can move them over here. So they pretty much immediately declared war on me. Let's see how smart that was. My guess? Not very. So, of course, typical AI behavior. They declare war and doesn't have a move against me. Yeah, if a player was playing this, he would have had like 2 armies stacked up on the border and attacked pretty much immediately. But they are not as savage as we can be, I guess. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we could go ahead and just grab Karelia immediately. I don't think we want that. Just want to take a look here. No. Where's Murmansk? It might be that, just with another name. I don't think so. It should be way closer to the Norwegian border. Anyway, that's boring for everyone who's not Norwegian or Russian. So let's go ahead. And they still don't have an army. Also, it might be a good idea to actually use my rake now. If he hadn't been executed, I think. Or was that an enemy agent? Oh, that's nice. So I actually killed a Russian agent. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I can see, obviously, that the Russians are gathering an army. But do they have any other armies? Yes, they have. Which unfortunately I can't pass. What if I do like this? That worked. Okay, so there's no Russian army right there. Yeah. Let's have this guy as our major army. Our main army, I should say. And with just one more, we actually have a full stack. Which is an accomplishment, really, in this game, in this mod. And we have a bit more money. Do you want to use it right now? I don't think so, actually. Except for like 2 more of these guys. And we'll save the rest. We can build a farm, as you can see right there. But who knows, maybe the Danish are going to declare on me immediately. That's definitely an option. Not an option, but an opportunity. Let's see, do you want to go for these guys? Yes, let's go for those guys. And I'll also resolve that. And I took a lot of damage there. And look at that. How many men did I lose? 150 something. And now it costs 1590 gold to actually replenish that. Yeah, this is definitely a cost-heavy mod. Anyway, our rake has done its job right there. And I guess we can infiltrate that army. Actually, we don't want to do that, because if we integrate it and then we kill this army off, our rake usually dies, so that is not a good idea. Anyway, I believe this army is strong enough to just punch our way through this. Yeah, these guys are definitely not winning this. They need to pull together a stronger army than that. Also, we now have bayonets. They are plug bayonets, so they are not that effective, but the ring bayonet is not far away. So of course, if you don't know what the plug bayonet do, it basically just puts a plug into the end of the muskets, which makes the musket not usable for the remainder of the fight. So that is always fun. Fortunately, it's what we have to deal with. Also, this might be a battle we want to take. I think so. But this episode has gone on for long enough, so I will do that in the next part. So, in the next part, we will, of course, defeat this army. Yeah, there should be no real question to if we defeat this or not. And we'll hopefully be able to capture Moscow, which I see we have a good opportunity of actually doing. Because, as I said, Moscow is actually not that well defended, typically. Anyway, that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed this first episode, and that you will enjoy me playing this campaign with this mod. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you did, and, as always, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.